The vaccine, what we are working on is quite different than what most people are working on. We are working on a vaccine that we expect to be protective against not just the existing coronavirus, but also against other strains. So our goal is to make a vaccine that could perhaps be effective on a more broad concept, very similar to the universal flu vaccines that people are trying to make, and we actually are also working on in our lab. You rely upon the knowledge that has been generated on the DNA, or in this case the RNA, basically the genetic material, the structure of the virus, and what proteins are present on the surface of the virus, and the function of those proteins. In this case, for example, the coronavirus, the spike protein, as we know, is the single main most important protein on the virus surface that not only helps the virus to latch onto the infecting cell, the cell it is trying to infect, so it latches onto it and then also opens the cell up so that it can escape into the cell. So it performs both functions. So depending upon the function of the protein, you have to kind of pick the protein on the virus surface that you are going to target as a vaccine candidate. When we think about what the vaccine actually looks like for the flu virus, as an example, it comprises of 3 strains of virus that the World Health Organization predicts is going to circulate in the season that's going to come. If the strains circulating were to change, right, it's a prediction. If the prediction is wrong, then the vaccine will not be effective. So coming back to why we need vaccine research all the time, because the strains continue to change, and therefore we need to continuously update the vaccine every year for flu. Coronaviruses are actually very similar to the flu viruses. They are also RNA-based viruses, and they show high mutation rates, and therefore there is a very high chance that the coronaviruses are going to mutate and a new one is going to emerge, which has happened already, right? We've seen SARS and MERS were the ones that caused most death amongst humans. And maybe there's another one that's going to emerge. So we need to continuously monitor and make vaccines so that we are prepared. So it's a large amount of diversity that we have to deal with in terms of making sure we can monitor safely the viruses in the population and then come up with strategies. So it's a very lofty goal, but I think Texas Tech could have a leading role in that kind of surveillance.